and nationally ranked Washburn, Ichabods, and Hannah. This is going to be a great one here tonight.
I'm very excited for tonight's game. It's going to be historic. This isn't the first time they have actually battled each other in this kind of setting, is it, Wiley?
No, it is not. The last time they've played here, I want to put for the record, this is the 4th time in a row Nebraska Kearney has made it to the MIAA championship. And the last 3 times they have all fallen in the championship round. And just like you said, this isn't the first time these two teams have seen each other. This is the first time since 2022 Washburn has been in the MIAA Volleyball Championships, where they defeated none other than Nebraska Kearney 3-1 back in 2022. So the Ichabods finding themselves here, the Lopers finding themselves back to the championship side of everything for the 4th time in a row. Washburn is now 19-16 overall in the MIAA tournament after winning last night. The Ichabods are 1-4 all time in the championship match, that one time being against Nebraska.
KRVN Sports Podcast page is brought to you by Hoegemeyer Hybrids, the right seed for right here. Contact your local Hoegemeyer representative today.
The following is a KRVN sports presentation. Loper Volleyball is on the air.
Well, for a 4th straight year, UNK has a chance to claim an MIAA tournament championship, but an old nemesis stands in the way of that happening, as tonight the 3rd-ranked Lopers face off against 7th-ranked Washburn for a 3rd time this season. Jason Jorgensen back with you from downtown St. Joe as it's the rubber match this season between these two. Washburn swept UNK at their place in October. Then the Lopers turned the tables, winning in 4 in Kearney just a couple weeks back. UNK was lights out last night. Best performance of the season as they swept UCO. They put together a complete performance. They had 20 blocks. They used a balanced offensive attack, and they dispatched the team that had been ranked number 1 in the country earlier this fall. For Washburn, they didn't play quite as well yesterday. They had a bit of a struggle before they eventually put away 7th-seeded Pittsburgh State in 4. The Ichabods have not lost since dropping that match to the Lopers a couple weeks back that had that controversial ending in Kearney. And, of course, it was the Ichabods who ended the Lopers season last year in that heartbreaker that went 5 on the first round of the NCAA tournament up in St. Cloud, Minnesota. Lot on the line tonight. A victory would not only give UNK a tournament championship for the first time since 2019, but it would lock up a chance to host the Central Regional in a couple of weeks at the Health and Sports Center. And, of course, they want to beat Washburn. Just ahead is my conversation with head coach Rick Squires as we bring you UNK Volleyball from KRVN Sports. UNK Volleyball tonight from KRVN Sports as UNK will face off against Washburn here in the MIAA Tournament Championship match. Joined by head coach Rick Squires, and here you are. Ladies have been playing some good volleyball. You got to feel like you have some good vibes and some momentum going into this one.
Yeah, I mean, kind of played our way through maybe some jitters in the first round and caught a Hayes team that was playing well and kind of survived that one, and then seemed to get up and running against UCO. Obviously, they're going to have anybody's full attention, but we played sharp, played good defense, got some blocks, played clean, didn't err, and then, when we got a lead, we didn't give it back to them. So I like how we competed in that game, and, you just never know in this tournament, when you've got things going your way, you got to fight hard to keep it like that, and so we'll see how this one goes tonight.
Some great statistics last night. You hit 400, you had 20 blocks, I think 55 digs. That's a pretty good recipe for success against anybody.
Yeah, I mean, we got some confidence early, really in every position. I mean, obviously the ball's going to go to the outside a lot with Emily and Carly, but I thought we got offense from Bryn Stoll, and then both of our middles were able to chip in. Peyton got a couple of kills. And when you can do that, especially in the early going, set one, and kind of establish everything, then it's hard to just say, go block their outsides because they can't hurt you anywhere else. And so I think that will be key as well in this match. But last night, we had it all going, and even from the service line, I thought everybody did a nice job putting some pressure on them. Maybe the serve receive was kind of up and down. They came after us a little bit, but even when we made one-option passes, we got the ball to somebody that could take a good swing at it, and then they did good things.
The $500 question is, how do you show up and play like that again?
Well, I mean, that was the trouble with UCO. I mean, we watched them in the first round in the battle with Emporia State, and they looked like, they were in sync everywhere. And I'm watching that film going, I don't know how you beat this team. And then they could not do it the next night. So that is definitely the challenge. I hope that the fact that you're in the finals and, you're not going to have any issue with motivation. Maybe the fact that last night wasn't a grinder. Maybe you got a few more jumps left in you than you might have had if that thing went 5. But it's just not going to be easy. It's going to be a back-and-forth deal and hard fought. Both teams know each other pretty well. It's going to be hard to get kills, so you got to have some patience. You can't make errors because you got blocked or you took a good swing and somebody dug the ball. So I just don't think there's an easy path in this one for either team. So it's kind of the secret is there's no secret. You better just come out and be ready for a grinder.
An old nemesis here. I mean, if anybody's given you problem, it's been Washburn. Walk me through the first 2 matches this year. Of course, the first one down there was tough. That was a nightmare. But in the second one a couple weeks back, you ladies played some good volleyball, did some good things.
Yeah, I mean, early, we had not really been tested like that until we hit that weekend of Emporia and Washburn on the road, and they both just kind of knocked us back on our heels, and we didn't do anything very well. And Washburn that day was a buzzsaw in the little gym, and the place was going crazy, and so we did not handle that well. And I do think it refocused our practice sessions a little bit. From a coaching staff, we tried to look at everything, and do we have the right people out there? Are we playing the right way? And I'm not sure we solved it, right away, but just little by little, it seemed like we were able to kind of get some momentum again. And then by the time they came back to our place, it was a back and forth deal. I mean, that obviously could have gone either way. We caught a break at the end on the line call, but I think it was in. So, it was that kind of a match. And so had it not turned out that way, we still played better. And we were able to score on the outsides and weather their serving a little bit. But, they're good. And if you get them beat a good team, you're going to have to do a lot of different things well.
You're not a moral victories kind of guy, but to be in this match 4 straight years, that's a heck of an accomplishment.
Yeah, it's hard to – every year, first thing you got to do is make the conference tournament because there's a couple halfway decent teams that didn't even get in who would have been fine in other leagues. So you got to get here, and then you got to be playing some good volleyball to advance because whoever you draw is going to be not too bad, and you got to manage the environment. And, for us, it's still a trip. You've been on the road now for – 3 days in a hotel, so it is a credit to, I guess, the tradition of the program, and players come here with that expectation. It gets passed down from one group to the next, and now at some point we'd like to win one of these again. We've had a few over the years, but it has been a few, and I don't know that it's any sort of hang up or anything like that. It's just usually you're playing a pretty good team and sometimes you come up short. I thought we played pretty well last year, had our chances, couldn't get over the hump. The year before, Washburn was on fire, and we hung in there for a while, and so we got to be the team that's on fire this year.
Appreciate the time. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
That was Loper head coach Rick Squires on tonight's pregame show. Coming up, more of tonight's pregame from St. Joe is just ahead as we bring you UNK volleyball from KRVN Sports. Just after 6, glad to have along for UNK volleyball tonight on 93.1 KRVN FM in Lexington, or if you are listening online, KRVN.com, on the River app, on the UNK Athletic app, or if you are listening in the Kearney area on 106.9 in Kearney, KRVN HD2. I'm Jason Jorgensen. Tonight's match between 28-3 UNK and 26-3 Washburn, brought to you by Minute Exchange Bank, member FDIC. Detterdings of Kearney and Grand Island. FNBO, an official bank of
And now the
UNK.
starting
Platte
lineup
Valley
for
Auto
the Washburn
Lexington and
Ichabods
Kearney.
and leading.
TBK
The charge for them,
Transmissions
it'll
of
be number
Kearney,
1.
UNK Marketing, and Pone
It'll be
Express
number
Chevrolet
5,
and Buick
Taylor
of
Rottinghouse.
Gothenburg, and Pone
Then
Express Ford
it'll be
of Minden. Third time
Tyler
this year
Rivers,
these two
Brennan
have
McMullen,
met.
Sydney
UNK
headliner,
was
Brooklyn
dominated
Morrissey,
on that
Miller
rough
Lindbach,
weekend on the
and
Kansas
Austin
Turnpike in
Brody
early October.
rounding out
Then turned the
starting
tables
lineup
on Washburn
for
and 1-4
the
a
Washburn
couple of weeks
Ichabods.
back. Washburn has not lost since that loss in 4 to the Lopers. They have the loss to UNK and then 2 setbacks to Missouri Western. Other than that, they've handled everybody else. Time to take a look at tonight's starters, brought to you by Pone Express Chevrolet of Gothenburg and Pone Express Ford of Minden. First for Washburn on the direction of head coach Chris Herron in his 24th year. The other night, he won his 650th match with the Ichabods. Their libero is a good one. Taylor Rottinghouse has 391 assists on the year and also is just a fantastic player along that back line. On the outside, a Lincoln kid, Bryn Topolsky, 5'11 sophomore. She hits 289 on the year. Kyla Rivers, 5'10 sophomore, who tore the Lopers up
excited for their
in
squad.
Topeka. She'll start on the outside. She has 191 kills this season. One of their setters is Corinna McMullen, 5'5 senior. Seems like she's been around forever. Their other setters, Kearney native, Sydney Connor, the 5'11 senior with 401 assists. Then on the outside, they have Natalie Headland and Brooklyn Morrissey. And then their real thump and power behind this team, Bella Lindback in the middle. She hits 467 on the year. And the MIAA hitter of the year, Austin Brody, 6-foot senior, has 311 kills. And that is a look at tonight's starters for Washburn. Here's the starters for the Lopers under the direction of head coach Greg Squires. This is the 11th time UNK has been in the finals of this tournament. Keep in mind, UNK didn't join the league until 2012. He is assisted by Sam Hammond.
North Platte, Nebraska, number 14.
And here's the starters for the Lopers. The center is Peyton Nett, 5'10", grad student from North Platte. Peyton now with over 1,100 set assists this year. Ellie Spang will start at the libero, 5'7" junior from Indiana. She's played in all 32 matches this year for the Lopers. In the middle is Abby Rose, 6'1" senior. Last night she was terrific for UNK, 6 blocks, and she had 5 kills. Alina Peterson will start on the back side. Bryn Stoll on the right side, the 6'4" sophomore. Boy, she has been lights out in this tournament. UNK needs her to be that kind of player and a difference maker tonight. On the outside, Carly Purdy, 6-foot grad student from North Platte. She had 15 kills against Washburn and Kearney. Of course, we'll see a lot of Emily Lane. And then starting in the middle, Sydney Davis, 6-foot red shirt sophomore from Danabron. Last night she was mighty with 7 big blocks. That is a look at tonight's starting lineups.
Those Lopers,
they
are
Pone Express Chevrolet and Buick of Gothenburg and Pone
for
Express
how
Ford.
many years that they have been in this situation.
I tell you what,
and
last
they are
night,
excited to get back out there.
20 blocks
If
in
they
that
could
match for the Lopers. It was an old-fashioned
the
90s block party.
in this first set.
The only thing that was missing was Kid and Play. Other than that, the whole gang was there, and UNK just owned the net against UCO. And UNK hit a blistering 400 last night against the Broncos. A lot of different reasons why UNK was able to sweep a very, very good team that probably ends up in the NCAA tournament, wherever that will be held. Lopers in their gold and white uniform, blue shorts tonight. Lopers in blue across the back with white numerals. Washburn in their home whites, navy shorts, and Washburn in that Washburn blue across the front and the back. Since 2021, UNK has had more problems with the Ichabods than anybody else. UNK just 4-8 against these people. Now the Lopers were able to win both regular season matchups last year, then just that gut punch of a loss in 5 sets, dropping that 5th set 16-14 up in St. Cloud, Minnesota. And of course they were swept earlier by Washburn, and then UNK able to come back and win in Kearney. Now in the first matchup for Washburn, they had their All-American middle, Alex DeBoer. Shortly after that match, she injured her knee, so she did not play in the second matchup. She's done for the rest of the year, but even though they lost such a great player, Washburn has continued on and played some really, really good volleyball. Like Coach Squire says, when you watch Washburn warm up, he said you can't tell the difference between the first teamers and the second teamers. UNK on the right side of the floor, Washburn on the left. And Washburn will serve this one away again with they'll go with Kyla Rivers, who will look to start this one. Good crowd here, a lot of the Loper faithful, and there's a lot of them here just off to my right. And here comes the serve from Rivers. Starts it off, Lopers attack, right pin, Bryn Stoll delivers the goods on that one on the right side to the near side, and Rivers could not dig it. For UNK, Ellie Spang will rotate out. Sydney Davis will check in. She was dominant last night against UCO. Here's Abby Rose, deep left corner for the Lopers. Goes down the line, and it's touched. That's an ace. Oh, that was a heat-seeking missile as the Lopers went after Rivers. The serve was a little long, but it went off the inside forearm of Rivers for the ace. 2-0 UNK. Rose waxes one at Rivers again. High pass. They go outside left. Headland over the Loper block. Nice dig by Rose. Nip pin Carly Purdy. Nicely dug by Rottinghouse. So set it up far side with Headland. A block touch for the Lopers. Dug middle back. They go right down the middle. And a wonderful tip off of her right fingertips from Sydney Davis. Washburn was expecting the heat. She gave them the changeup. Nicely done. Middle of the net. 3-0 UNK. In this first set, they got off to such a great start last night against UCO. Near overpass, going high was Morrissey, dug by Neff. Tipping was Davis, back on the Ichabod side. Good block again from Davis. Almost went down. Swinging is Brody. Couldn't put it away. Lopers attack outside right. Push shot in the corner down from Bryn Stoll. Oh, she massaged that one in with both hands, perfectly placed in the corner. Washburn was just scrambling around. They didn't expect that. 4-0 UNK in the first. Great run of service from Abby Rose, who exhales and nails this one at Rivers. Overpass up front. Easy pickings for Sydney Davis, who puts it down with two hands. And Washburn coach Chris Herron gets up off the bench. He says, we need a timeout. The Lopers come roaring out of the gates, up 5 early on tonight from St. Joe. Time out of the court. It's UNK volleyball from KRVN Sports. Back to St. Joe after the timeout. It doesn't matter. Abby Rose with another torpedo in the deep left corner. Kaya Rivers has issues with it again. A second ace early on here for UNK as the Lopers up 6-0. Lopers coming after Kyla Rivers early on. Rose will bomb this one out. Passes up top, left side. Headland tools the Loper block and gets the kill. So finally, after Washburn got stuck in a terrible rotation, they get the serve back trailing 6-1. They bring one of their big hitters, Bella Lim, back in there. Pretty good set that time from McMullen. There's Taylor Rottinghouse. Got that light blue, North Carolina blue, if you will. I think that Washburn blue's pretty close, and she clocks his serve in to the tape. The service there. And Washburn not themselves early on, spotting the Lopers a 7-1 lead here in the first set with a number of uncharacteristic mistakes. Ryan Mock back to serve it away for the Lopers. Deep right corner. Bombs out one at Rivers. Passes to McMullen on the slide, and here's a quick kill from Austin Brody. She does that a lot. She was working her way up the right side. The Lopers trying to get the block up. She's got a lot of spunk behind her. That's her 312th kill of the year. And Washburn gets the side out, trailing UNK 7-2 here in this first set. Here's the Kearney kid, Sydney Connor. Last go around with the Ichabods. That one just cleared the tape. Lopers go good past net. Outside left, Carly Purdy. She's working up the block out of the hands of the Lincoln kid, Bren Topolsky. Carly had 15 kills against Washburn back in Kearney. 8-2 UNK in the first. And here's Anna Lentz. Anna Lentz, I should say. Anna in there. Didn't play much on Thursday, more last night, and getting an early call today. Knuckleball serve. Rivers has some issues. Rottinghouse bumps that far side. Headland dug by Spang. Neff down the middle. Tipping is Sydney Davis. Great up by Rottinghouse. Couldn't keep it airborne. Already 3 early kills for Sydney Davis. as UNK working the magic in the middle that they did early on last night against UCO. Anna Lates with the Lopers up 7. It's an ace. That one just the bottom fell out of it. They continue to go after Rivers. And she's probably leaving the match, and she will depart. Chloe Traffus, 5'4" freshman in. A great serve that time from Lates. Her 14th ace of the year. 10-2 UNK. Washburn has some problems. Lopers get it on a free ball. Sydney Davis comes out the right side, and she was stonewalled that time. Big block by Bella Limback. First team all-conference middle. Got the best of Davis. Side out back. Bill Washburn trailing UNK by 7 early on. Trappist is out. They bring Autumn Gibbs, a 5'4" junior defensive specialist, in. Got the gum on her mouth. Pounds a serve at the Lopers. Lanes to Neff. Left side. Emily Lanes. First kill of the night is a good one. It goes up the kill and hits the 10-foot line. Lanes, 327th kill of the year. Second for the Lopers in that category behind Purdy. 11-3 UNK. If you joined us late, the Lopers jumped out to a 5-0 lead with Abby Rose on the serve. Here's Ellie Spang. When it Gibbs. Connor backs it right side. Topolsky. Block touched up front. Lopers have a chance. Bumps it near side. Running shot from Emily Lane. Kept alive by Connors. Bumps it right side. Topolsky takes his shot and puts it down deep left corner. Cross court shot found the mark. She has really turned into a nice player for them. Second team all-conference, places that one in the corner. The Lopers didn't have anybody there, and the Loper lead slides to 7, 11-4. If UNK want to keep the hammer down on the accelerator, Limback will serve. Tough one, it's just out. Second service error for Washburn in the first. Excellent judgment there in the deep left corner by Ryan Mock. She took a look at it, judged it, knew it would go deep, and it misfired by a couple of feet. Side out Lopers, leading at 12-4. In the first. Peyton Neff. Boy, Rottinghouse has some passing issues. Out the 10-foot line. Topolsky roll shot. Dug nicely by Lanes. UNK spreads it on right side. Bryn Stoll. Connor with the dig. Rottinghouse puts it up to Topolsky. Little pop shot inside the 10-foot line. Lopers are there. They sent it out wide left. Lane had to wait. Couldn't put it down. It's up almost against the net. And Rottinghouse moves it over to a deep free ball. Here come the Lopers, up 8 early on. Lane hammers that one through, make it 9. Went near side, Sydney Connor couldn't handle it. Emily Lane with some punch up the near pin, 13-4 UNK. And another timeout called by Washburn. The Lopers controlling the early going, hitting at a 500 clip. They're up 9 in the first. Timeout from St. Joe. UNK volleyball from KRVN Sports. Lopers on a roll in the first, up 13-4. Peyton Neff looks at our R1, Jim Ewert, and gets the go-ahead. Served it deep right down the middle. Morrissey looks to blast it through and gets the kill. 5'10" freshman middle just went soaring in the middle off a quick attack. The Lopers got a hand of it along the back line. Could not control it. So Washburn, after they basically spotted UNK a 7-1 lead, trying to fight back in it here. There's one of their KG veterans, Corinna McMullen. And McMullen, their senior setter, will whip it across to the Lopers. UNK up 5. Net takes the pass on the slide. Abby Rose hits it hard and puts it down. She continues to be an assassin for the Lopers. On the year, she hit .314. She drilled that one in the deep back corner. Nobody home for the Ichabods. 14-5 UNK. Lena Peterson now will take over in charge of the serve for the Lopers. UNK with Purdy, Stoll, and Abby Rose up front. It was a good serve. McMullen goes down the middle. That one's rolled off the tape by Brody. Didn't find the floor. Lopers attack. Bryn Stoll goes high. A defensive up by Gibbs. Great recovery by Washburn to slap it back over. Lopers attack near pin. Carly Purdy muscles that one down over the top of Brody. Carly Purdy showing no fear. The Lopers up 10 in the first. 15-5. Playing exactly the way they did last night against UCO. But it's early. Peterson windmills that serve at Gibbs. On the right side, Brody looks to blast it through. Dug by Peterson off of the block touch. Here comes Purdy. Off of hands, Rottinghouse. A wonderful One-armed right-handed dig on the far side. Tipping was Rivers, who's back in the Lopers handle. Here comes Abby Rose again. She continues to play like her hair's on fire. That was a missile coming off her right hand. There was no way that was going to be dug. 16-5 UNK in the first. Continuing to hit at 500. And now we have a stoppage of play as the Washburn libero, Taylor Rottinghouse, might have opened up a cut on her knee. They're doing a tape job on that right now, so that slows the pace as she gets worked on. Of course, Washburn coach Chris Herron, known for all kinds of delay tactics when the other team is going on a run. And the Lopers lead at 16-5. We'll never forget what he did that time in the Health and Sports Center with several stoppages of play that night when supposedly there was all this moisture on the Washburn side of the court. And there were none on the Lopers side. Peterson with a good serve up the middle, over, pass up front. Carly Party tried to put it down, and then they'll rule here for going over the top. Violation for the Lopers. Point to Washburn. 16-6. Lopers up. Boy, for Purdy, it had to seem like it was in slow motion, waiting for that overpass to get there, and she just reached over and was guilty of the call. Lopers by 10 in the first. Kyla Rivers on serve for the Ichabods, who UNK really went after early on. Stole, bump set. UNK didn't pass very well. They move it over on a free ball. McMullen on the slide. Brody blocked down by Carly Purdy, who jumped out of her shoes and took away the hitting lane of the hitter of the year in the league. What a block from Purdy. 17-6 UNK. That was an incredible ace block against Washburn's big gun, who is coming strong up the slide. 17-6 UNK in the first. Here's Abby Rose. That one's out. Too much spice on that one. Serves a little deep along the back line. Side out back to Washburn. They alertly got out of the road of that one, but Rose is serving aggressively for the Lopers. Here's Taylor Rottinghouse. Second team all-conference. She's a really nice player. Pumps the serve across with the right hand. Peterson down the near line. The Lopers have kind of a roll shot from Carly Purdy, and that was easy pickings on the block for Austin Brody. Lopers passing the last couple of times off the serve from Washburn has not been real sharp. That is still a concern for the coaching staff, despite how well UNK has been playing the last couple of weeks. And Washburn's waiting for a ball. The ball girl had it. She quickly gave it up. 17-8. Lopers with a big lead here in the first set. Rottinghouse will dribble it and attack it. Moves toward the service line. Rainbow serve. Peterson to net. Spins down the middle. Sydney Davis off with a block touch. Barely kept alive. Headland pokes it across for Washburn. Here come the Lopers outside left. Purdy got high. Block touch for Washburn. McMullen bump set off the 10-foot line. Headland a whiff as that one never even got to the net. Hitting error for Washburn. Just their second of the first set. UNK with 3, but the Lopers with a 10-point advantage. 18-8. Now it's Neff, Davis, and Purdy for the Lopers. Ryan Mock, deep corner right, slingshots that serve across Ryan to McMullen. Quick attack. Bella Limback is denied by the net and Sydney Davis. Give her a share of the block there. 19-8 UNK. Limback is rarely rebuked at the net off of that quick attack. Lopers by 11. Ryan Mock served it hard at Rottinghouse. McMullen down the middle. Limback again this time. Crushed it with the right hand. Yeah, she was not going to be stonewalled 2 times in a row. 19-9. Lopers over to Washburn here in the first set of the MIAA Tournament Championship match. This is the 11th time that UNK has made this match. They've won it 7 times, but haven't won it since 2009. Deep hard serve from Sydney Connor. Excellent tip by Peyton Neff. Almost fell. Lopers have a chance. She goes up, slam dunks it again. Great job by Peyton Neff. She took that one and deposited it down. She didn't even wait. She was hanging mid-net. 20-9 UNK. Everything is clicking. And the Lanes with the serve for the Lopers went toward Rivers again. High pass to Connor. Feeds it right side to Polsky. Puts it down. Rifle shot out of her right arm. She's a very explosive athlete. 5'11", plays a lot bigger than that. She can jump out of the gym too. Able to bomb that one down. Topolsky and Kyla Rivers look like they could be sisters. 20-10, Washburn on the serve. Here comes Autumn Gibbs, serves it at the Lopers. Lanes passes snap, goes quickly, running behind her right shoulder was Sydney Davis, who crackles that one home with a right hand. Her fourth kill on the first set. 21-10, UNK. They have got the eye of the tiger early on. Comes Ellie Spang, goes down the near side. Gibbs with a retreating dig. Long bump set. Rivers, the Lopers over there with a block. Rose couldn't put it down. Great up by Connor. Here comes Washburn, right pin. Cut shot from Topolsky, dug by Mock. Abby Rose trying to go up. That time she lost that battle. Big block from Bella Lindback to put it away. UNK still with a huge lead in this first set, 21-11. I always think it's key, though, not only if you win the set, but if you win it convincingly and you don't let the other team get some momentum. Here's Lindback, went right down the boulevard with the serve. Lopers in good shape. Outside left, Emily Lane. Cross-court shot was slowed up. Connor, far side. Rivers waits, takes a big whack at it. UNK dug it. Near pin. Emily Lane goes deep left corner. Lindback is there. Deep pass to Connor. Far side. Rivers. The block from the Lopers. Peyton F. was there. She went up high. Went to the mountaintop and put it right back down. 22-11 UNK. 20 blocks last night. 5 early on in this one. And Washburn had issues with Pittsburgh State's big block last night when they were in a battle before eventually winning that one in 4. 22-11 UNK in the first. Peyton F. on the serve. Just floats it over. Rottinghouse to Connor. Bumps at far side. Keyball's in. Dug by Lane's middle back. Lopers attack with Emily Lane. Off the block touch, and she puts it down in front of Rottinghouse to the back line. 23-11 UNK. Washburn, normally a team that it is tough to score against. They dig everything. They're not digging the Lopers early on. High pass up front and slinging that one through out of system was Bryn Topolsky after it was not a great pass off of the serve from Neff. Washburn wins that point. Facing a big deficit here at the end of the first set, trailing UNK 23-12. The Lopers bolted out of the gate up 7-1. Here's Corinna McMullen. Gotta watch her like a hawk. Crafty player. Served it toward the left side. Neff sets a left side lane. Off of hands. Washburn will attack. McMullen on the slide. Austin Brody couldn't put it down. The Lopers with a dig. They attack. Brent Stoll with a hammer chop. She dropped the anvil on the Ichabods off the left pin. A kill for Brent Stoll, and it is set point for UNK. 24-12 in this first set. Loper fans to my right, all standing and as one. They're loving this. See if Alina Peterson can end it right now. Flat-footed serve, goes down the highway. It gives. McMullen sets it high. Keyball's been a Loper killer in the past, and she pushes that one through for the kill. 5'10 sophomore, her 94th kill of the year. Shot out back to Washburn. Trailing the Lopers 24-13. Keyball just came out of nowhere and did a number on the Lopers last year in that NCAA tournament matchup St. Cloud. She serves at middle back, bombs the serve at the Lopers. Here's Knapp, sets it high. Purdy waits, slowed up off of hands. McMullen, long pass far side. Headland goes down the line. Great up by Peterson. Bump set, tipping is Purdy. Rottinghouse there with the up for the Ichabods, and slamming that one down with the right hand was Brooklyn Morrissey. Able to locate it, put it down, deep right corner. UNK still with a plethora of set points to work with here, up 24-14. But you don't want Washburn to gain any kind of rhythm. Keyball goes a little short of that time with the serve. Neff sets it right side, Stoll. Dug middle back by Keyball. Here's Headland far side, hits it out. The Lopers didn't touch it. Will Chris Herron challenge? It'd be silly to do that at the end of the first set. And UNK takes that first set. 25-14. They come out swinging. They hit 333 at the end of one. The Lopers lead it 25-14. The second set from St. Joe is just ahead from KRVN Sports.
To help is Emily Lane. And once again, both squads fighting back and forth, but it was the Lopers who found themselves an early start. And really it was all downhill for theirs right there. Brody leading the way, but we got more action here from historic Civic Arena. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, it'll be set number 2 of the 2025 MIAA Volleyball Championships here on the MIAA Network. Welcome back, and the Lopers have a 1-set lead over the Ichabods here in the 2025 MIAA Championship match between the 1-seeded Lopers of Nebraska Kearney and the 3-seeded Ichabods of Washburn University. It's some of the biggest highlights from this is looking at the hitting percentage. Right now, Lopers hitting .314, as for the Ichabods hitting .118, and the biggest thing right now, 5 errors for the Ichabods. And right now it's got to be a pretty flawless match the rest of the way out for the Ichabods if they want to find themselves a chance of coming back and possibly winning this. But also 8 blocks, 3 of them by Bella Limbach for the Ichabods, as for 6 blocks by the Lopers of Nebraska Kearney. So things are looking up for Washburn, but they got to make a big difference here if they want to find themselves tied at 1 set apiece.
Jason Jorgensen back with you from downtown St. Joe here at this Civic Arena that they've pumped a lot of money into over the last several years. It's a perfect venue for this tournament. And UNK takes the first 25-14. They hit .314. Washburn limited to .118. Good balance again for the Lopers. Sydney Davis with 4 kills and a couple of blocks. 3 kills for Emily Lane and 2 kills and a block for Carly Purdy. Lopers now on the left side of the floor. They have Peterson, Spang, Neff, Rose, Stoll, and Purdy out there. We'll see what Washburn goes with. They have Keebaugh, Morrissey, and Brody up front. McMullen, the senior setters out there. Also, Autumn Gibbs is into the match, and Limbach will leave. Rottinghouse, the energetic libero, replaces her. And UNK to serve it away. They couldn't have got off to a greater start, jumping out to a 7-1 lead in the first. Controlled things from start to finish. Here's Alina Peterson. And she will uncoil and drive that serve at Gibbs. McMullen backs it. Brody, big shot, and Peterson was there but could not dig it. Austin Brody, really with a big arm, hits a heavy ball, just her second kill. There's a reason why she was named MIAA Hitter of the Year, and Washburn leads at 1-0. In this second set, Lopers just took the first easily, 25-14. Rottinghouse is ready, parked in road gear, serve that one at Spang. Lopers didn't pass very well. They have to move it over on a 3-ball. Rottinghouse to McMullen, outside left. Keebaugh dug middle back by Peterson. That one went up to the rafters. Waiting is Carly Purdy and tried a touch shot off the 10-foot line and misfired and missed, and Washburn up 2-0. Coach Squires up and off the bench, talking to Spang and to Peterson. Rottinghouse is sheer, as you might expect. Top liberos serve well. 29 aces on the year. Delivers this one at Purdy. Two-handed push shot to net. Right side, Bryn Stoll. Couldn't put it away. Here's Brody right side. Little tip shot. Almost went down. Great save by Spang. Lopers have to move it over on a free ball. McMullen near the net. Quick set down the middle. Limbach. What a defensive dig by Spang. UNK with a deeper shovel over shot from Purdy. Here's Neff in the middle. 10-foot line. Lopers need to mount some offense. Purdy left side off of hands. It almost went down. Washburn getting back to their old ways. Digging everything. Neff down the middle. Abby Rose goes one-on-one solo against Limbach and wins that affair. Her third kill. And the Lopers on the board here in the second, down 1, up 1-0. These rallies as the night go on get longer and longer, and they probably will. These two teams also have to be tired. Third match in 3 days, high-level volleyball. Abby Rose, pretty good serve, right side. Brody has it hit right back at her. Carly Purdy is claiming that touched Brody, and UNK does not have to challenge that. Our other official on the far side, the R2, Jenny Morgeson, had it right in front of her, and she saw it the same way Purdy did. Kill for the Lopers, tied at 2 in this second. They jumped out to a quick lead in this one. Abby Rose goes near side at Gibbs. Quick attack, key ball, rips that one through. Bryn Stoll was looking at our R1, Jim Ewalt, and she thought that there should have been a foot violation there on Keebaugh. Keebaugh's second kill. And Washburn gets the side out back, up 1, 3-2. Again, they've only lost to 2 teams this year. They lost to Missouri Western twice, then lost to the Lopers. Overpass for the Lopers, and Lindback is there to hammer that one down with the right hand. And Coach Squires now up and off the bench. He is not happy with Spang and Peterson right now. Washburn starting to find maybe a little chinks in the Loper armor with the passing game. Peterson directs it to Neff, hitting it high, Stoll, cross-court shot, dug by Connor, bump set, right side to Polsky. She'll put it down over the Lopers. Washburn now starting to get their groove back, leading UNK 5-2. UNK with just not a lot of opportunities here to mount an offense because they are struggling on serve receive. Here's Sydney Connor. She will thump it right to left. Win it Purdy. That one ate her up a little bit. Again, no offense for the Lopers. Roll shot from Purdy. One drop. Connor down the middle. Then back off the hands of Davis for the block touch. Neff sets down the middle. Tipping is Davis. That one lands. Boy, she is going with the tips tonight. And another beauty. Her 5th of the match. Keebaugh was rolling around at the 10-foot line along with Connor. Neither one of them could come up with it. 5-3 UNK. Kind of look back, like back in the day on the 4th of July when they'd hide the change in the sand pile and the kids would be out there digging for it. That's what the Ichabods looked like that time. Keebaugh goes high over the Loper triple block. Touch back on the Ichabod side. Right side, Limback. Shot is slowed up by the tape. UNK, however, has to just move it over on a free ball. Here's Connor near the net. Back set to Polsky. Rams that one down the far line. Her 5th kill. Topolsky now. Starting to be dialed in against the Lopers, hitting at a high percentage. And now will UNK challenge that? And Coach Squires will. Apparently he didn't like the finish from Topolsky. We have a challenge and a review. We'll step aside as it stands now. Washburn leads at 6-3 in the second. Lopers up 1-0. It's UNK volleyball from KRVN Sports.
It currently stands 6-3, but it could make it 5-4 if this call is reversed. And when you're in a championship match and you have an opportunity to challenge or you see it and you know, hey, I have an opportunity to get a point back for my girls, he's going to try anything in his way to make it happen. 6-3 our current score here in the second set.
I say a lot of people might not think that 1 point makes a difference, but it will give your team a lot more confidence being like, hey, yeah, my coach was right. Let's go. Let's get this done.
So looking at our score comparisons, Nebraska Kearney took set number 1, 25-14, but it started out with a big start, 9-0 run to be exact for the Lopers, and the call is confirmed, and it'll be a point for Washburn, and the score will stand as is.
Well, they reviewed the call, and it stands. So Coach Rick Squires loses that challenge. He has one left. Washburn in front, 6-3 in the second set. Emery Keebaugh, 5'10" sophomore. She has given them a lift off of the bench, serves it into the top of the net. Third service there for Washburn. Clippers back on serve, down to 6-4. Playing from behind in the second set after they led from start to finish in the first. Anna Lentz will check in for the Lopers. Spang and Mock are out there up front. It's Neff, Lane, and Davis. And Lentz with a rocket serve right at Rottinghouse down the middle. Limback. Did the Lopers touch it? Was it out? UNK gets the point. A rare miss from Limback again. She hits it at 467 on the year and sent it wide left. Lopers had a little bit of block up there, but not much. Chance to tie it here at 6. Lane's on the serve. Tomahawks it across. Rottinghouse to Connor. Goes left side. Headland. Loper's got a block touch on that from Neff. She'll set it. Coming from behind. Sydney Davis finds the deep left corner with the shot. Her 6th kill. She just continues to get better and better. Hitting close to 600 in this one. Loper squared up at 6 in the second. Up 1-0. Lanes concentrates, pounds that serve, it's an ace. Oh, that one just ate up T-ball. Lanes with a deadly serve. Her second ace of the night. And UNK now in front, 7-6. Where does she go again? Took something off of it, and it's down again. Back-to-back aces for Anna Lanes. Get her one of those cheap flights from Grand Island to Vegas. She's dealing aces. 8-6. Loper's up in this second set. Lanes, can she go 3 in a row now? Rottinghouse, pretty good pass to Connor. Right side, Japolsky. Return to sender. Sydney Davis playing like a dude out on the left side. Gets another block. And Washburn has to call a timeout. Sydney Davis continues to sparkle in St. Joe. Loper's up 3 in the second, leading at 1-0. It's UNK volleyball from KRVN Sports.
Welcome back to Historic Civic Arena. And both teams finding themselves in the 2025 MIAA Volleyball Championships. And this was the route they took. Nebraska Kearney defeated 8-seed Fort Hays State, then beat Central Oklahoma in a 2024 championship rematch. As for Washburn, they defeated Pitt State, who upsetted Missouri Western, and then they defeated Central Missouri in their half of the bracket.
Well, Washburn had jumped out to a 6-3 lead, but UNK has now scored 6 in a row in this second set with some momentum and some juice on their side of the net. Up 9-6 in the second, leading 1-0. Veteran Washburn coach Chris Herron with 650 victories in Topeka puts the brakes on this match again. Anna Lanes is doing a great job from the service line, middle back. That one ate up Headland, another ace. Anna Lanes is an assassin right now from the service line for the Lopers. 10-6. She is breaking the will of the Ichabod. They get Keybaugh out of there, and Chloe Traffus in there. She's got one job right now, and that's to pass the ball. Lanes goes a little shorter. Headland with some issues. Connor will send it Headland's way. Cross-court shot. Big banging drive that time and through for Headland, her first kill of the night. What a great run of service from Anna Lanes. Big smile on her face. Side out back to Washburn. They don't have the score right now. It says it's 11-6. I don't believe that is correct. Limbach with the serve of the Lopers. Neff spins far side. Lane waits. Big blast. Traffus with a great recovery. The Lopers get it on a free ball. Up 11-6. Far side. Lane smashes that one through the block of Morrissey and Topolsky. Emily Lane gets the kill. 12-6. UNK leads it. Okay, I figured out the discrepancy here. Our live stats a little far behind, and now they change it up on the scoreboard. I think it's right now 11-7. And here is Ellie Spang, near ace. Boy, Washburn's having problems. Lopers get it. Third contact, free ball. Neff, far side. Abby Rose, big blast. Boy, Rottinghouse with the dig and almost went up into the rafters here at the Civic Arena. Great save by the Ichabods. Lopers have it back on their side. Attacking, tipping is Rose. Traffus with the up, right side, Topolsky, cross-court shot. There's a winner. That's a big point for Washburn to get back. The Lopers nearly went up 5. Instead, it's cut to 4. 11-8 in the second. If you're joining us late, UNK jumped out to a 7-1 lead in the first and ran away and hid, winning at 25-14 against the 26-3 Washburn Ichabods. Lopers will take the serve here from McMullen. Neff, far side, Emily Lane has it blasted back. I don't know if it would have cleared the net. Morrissey was lurking. So 2 in a row from Washburn. And they slice that Loper lead down to 2, 11-9. Washburn was picked to finish third in the conference standings before the season started. Finished in a 3-way tie with the Lopers in Missouri. Western tipping is Emily Lane. Knocked back on the Lopers side. Neff sets a far side. Emily Lane. Block touch. Back on the Lopers side. Spangle set it high. Lane attacks. Cross court shot through hands and down. Wonderful bump set off the far pin from Spang to Lane. Just reloaded on the move. And a shotgun blast out of her right arm gives the Lopers a 12-9 advantage here in the second. Neff with the serve, goes right down the highway, overpass up front, easy pickings for Abby Rose, who gets the kill, her fourth. Boy, the Lopers continuing to dissect Washburn. 13-9, up a set. Neff will string this one down the near side, and Headland has issues again, another ace. It's Washburn who can't pass. The Lopers are just sniping them off. 14-9. The Lopers not a huge acing team this year. They have 7 so far. Neff got another one, and she went at Rottinghouse. This is an out-of-body experience for the Ichabods, and they need a timeout. And the Lopers all smiles as they come off the bench. They're up 6 in the 7. They're up 6 in the second. 15-9, up 1 set to none. It's UNK volleyball from KRVN Sports.
They still trail 15-9. Both teams exchanging blows. When we come back right here on the MIAA Network. And the MIAA is on looking right now. Our 2025 MIAA.
5 aces in the second set from the Lopers. 8 for the match. Keep in mind, coming in 116 aces on the year. I mean, it's okay, but they are just taking Washburn apart from the service line. Up 15-9 in the second, leading it 1 set to none. Washburn coach Chris Herron, he is as red as a fire hydrant. That time he stayed out of the huddle. Then Kearney native assistant coach Shayla Connor talked to the team. Washburn has issues again. Headland attacks, cross court blast. Duck far side by Spang. Attacking as Bryn Stoll puts it through. It was touched up front. It landed anyway. Stoll's 4th kill of the night. 16-9 UNK. They've got all the momentum on the left side of the court. Peyton Neff, flat-footed serve. Knuckleball at Traffus. Quick attack. That one's put down quickly by Morrissey. Her 3rd kill. She's going to be a very, very nice player for them. 5'10 freshman, very athletic, fits the mold, what Washburn looks for. They're back within 6, 16-10. Just hanging on. End of the cliff right now with their fingernails dug into the rock. Traffus with the serve at lengths. Lopers go down the middle. Bryn Stoll, that one's out. Got a pretty good set that time from Peyton Neff. Just a little too much oomph on it. Near side misfired. 2 in a row for Washburn. Down 5, 16-11. Oh, Traffus back there. Actually, it's Gibbs who will unload this serve. Line drive shot at Lanes. Neff sets it high. Nobody in particular. Emily Lane pushed it over with the free ball on the back set. And here is Morrissey. They're going to say it's out. Lopers didn't touch it. Washburn's claiming it was touched. And at this point, Chris Herron, will he challenge this? He will. And that's a pretty good challenge because right now his team is teetering down 6 in the 7. In the second set, 17-11 with the Lopers in front, 25-14. Second challenge of the night as they look at this one. We'll step aside. It's UNK Volleyball from KRVN Sports.
Challenge could put the Ichabods at jeopardy, and let's see if it goes right off the hands, and it's hard to see. Well, they were saying it was a touch, but I think Coach Herron saying, hey, my girls did not touch that one, as it looked like just could barely maybe get a hand on it, maybe just a fingernail. But it'll be interesting to see what their decision is, as they get paid the big bucks to make those decisions, not us up here with a bird's eye view.
We do not get paid the big bucks to make those decisions. People at that table do down there. It's an exciting lead for the Lopers. It's a 6-point lead here. They're just going to keep trying it and trying to make sure that they keep that lead for the rest of this set and win the second set. Ichabods are trying to catch right back up to the Lopers, even though they were leading when we first started this second set here.
Well, a stoppage of play tonight here in St. Joe, just about 7. Glad to have you along for UNK Volleyball on 93.1 KRVN FM in Lexington, 106.9 in Kearney. If you are listening along on the Loper Athletic app or on the River app, or if you're watching the match and you have timed up my broadcast, I appreciate you going through the links to do that. And here, the Lopers are up 6 in the second, 17-11. Washburn is challenging this. I am not privy to having the replay in front of me. When I initially called that, I thought it looked like UNK had touched the ball at the net. I am not surprised to see Washburn challenge this for 2 reasons. 1, you might get it, you never know. And 2, they need a tourniquet right now to stop the bleeding. They are looking for any kind of a stoppage in play to just slow up the Loper momentum, as UNK has just been, for a second straight night against a top 10 team, just locked in, playing fantastic volleyball. You know, we talked about this in the pregame show with Rick Squires. How do you show up and play like they did last night, tonight, and through a set and a half? They've done exactly that. The 8 aces for the Lopers, that ties their second highest of any match this year. 10 against St. Michael's early on, and then 8 against Peru State. But they are just picking the Ichabods off. And this has turned into a very long, lengthy delay. Loper Volleyball brought to you by UNK Marketing, TVK Transmissions of Kearney, Platte Valley Auto of Lexington and Kearney, FNBO, an official bank of UNK, Detterdings of Kearney and Grand Island, Minute Exchange Bank, member FDIC, and Port Express Chevrolet and Buick of Gothenburg and Port Express Ford of Minden. We have our verdict. It has been rendered here. Our R2, Jenny Morgeson, will make the call. Walks over to the right side. Well, each team has lost a challenge as UNK wins that point. Coach Chris Herron now comes up, gets into the ear of Jenny Morgeson. He's as red as the court right now. 17-11, UNK. And Alina Peterson, one of the Lopers who have really improved down the stretch. Back on the serve for the Lopers left to right. After about, 3.5, 4 minute stoppage of play there. Will UNK remain red hot? We'll find out. Peterson with that windmill serve. Keybaugh passes to McMullen, sets it up left side, and it is dropped in. The kill off the near side from Emery Keybaugh. And Ichabods get the point. They're back within 5, 17-12. Here's Taylor Rottinghouse. Some older siblings play. They were good players too at Washburn. Have to say she's a legacy and a near ace, and she gets the ace. That one ate up Ellie Spang. Nifty serve from Rottinghouse. He's kind of had an off match. And the Loper lead reduced to 4. 17-13 in the second. Up 1-0. Rottinghouse looks at our R1, Jen Ewert, and she will plug this one right at the Loper. Spang, overpass up front, and there is Lindback. They hammer it down with a right hand. Boy, each team has struggled to pass a little bit tonight, and the Loper lead chiseled to 3, 17-14. Those last 2 serves were probably the best that Rottinghouse has, and her team needed them. Rottinghouse will float it towards Spang. Better pass. Neff has it 10-foot line. Leaves it right side. Bryn Stoll got on top of that one, but couldn't tomahawk it down. Swinging right side. Brody gets the kill. 3 in a row for the Ichabods, and now it's the Lopers who need a timeout. That long break in the action cooled off the Lopers. Their lead is 2, 17-15 in the second, up 1-0. We're back to St. Joe right after this from KRVN Sports.
You're watching the 2025 MIAA Volleyball Championships right here on the MIAA Network. The Ichabods had a big lead to start the set, and now the Lopers with a big lead, and now it's kind of exchanging blows between the two, and both teams don't.
Jason Jorgensen back with you from St. Joe. This has been a back-and-forth second. The Lopers trailed by 3. We're just up 7, but now Washburn has won 6 of the last 7 points. And they're within 2 in the second set, 17-15, despite giving up 5 aces. That's an odd stat. And Rottinghouse is ready after the Lopers spent the timeout. He's very, very deliberate at the service line. Clocks this one at Spang. Good pass to Neff. Leaves it high. Abby Rose is denied with a block from Limback. And Washburn has it cut down to 1. 17-16. Clippers really need a side out at this point. Rottinghouse and Limback and Brody getting the Ichabods back into this second set. Rottinghouse goes far line. Spang passes to Neff. Sets it up. Left side. Purdy blocked back on the Lopers side. Spang bumps it. Right side. Stoll has to reach for it. Dug by McMullen. Right side. Brody swings and puts it down. We're tied at 17. 4 in a row from Washburn. Brody, her third kill of the second set. I wondered about that long stoppage of play. Again, Chris Herron is a master at doing that when his team's on the ropes. Even though they lost the call, it gave them just time to kind of recoil. Here's Purdy left side. Laser shot off the left side. Ripped that one through the defense and put it down in the deep right corner. A big swing with the set teetering for the Lopers. They get the much-needed side out and back up. 18-17. Maybe circle that play for the former North Platte Bulldog. Julie Davenport will come in to serve it away for the Lopers, and Abby Rose will depart. Julie did a nice job in this role last night. Little lefty from the Omaha area will swing and jump into it. Just cleared the tape. It's an ace! As she throws up both hands with a big smile on her face. The 9th, 8th of the match for the Lopers. The 6th of this second set. They've now scored 2 in a row. Up 19-17 in the second. Up 1-0 over the 7th-ranked team in the country. Davenport again, a little more oomph on that one. McMullen throws it outside right. Lopers got a block touch on Brody. They reload. Near side, Keebaugh. Nicely done by Bryn Stoll. Keebaugh again. Cross-court shot down. She's not all that big of a kid, but she can jump out of the gym, and she has a big arm. Big cross-court blast. Side out back to Washburn. Trailing the Lopers by 1. 19-18 here in the second set of the MIAA Conference Tournament Championship. UNK aiming for their 8th title in this tournament since joining the league in 2012. There's Sydney Connor. She will thump that one at Peterson. Passes to Neff. Outside left. Purdy again. Couldn't drive it down. Block touch up front. Here comes Topolsky. It's out. She misfired. She got a pretty good set that time. The Lopers weren't there. That is a big error. The 10th of the night for Washburn. 20-18 UNK in the second. Lopers caught a break that time. Topolsky, very good hitter. Here's Ryan Mock. Seen more playing time in the second half of the season. Good serve right down the boulevard going high. Keebaugh. The Lopers get the block. Sydney Davis and Peyton up there. Nip in to slam the back door. 21-18 UNK. Sydney Davis has been a wrecking ball in this tournament in the net for the Lopers. Ryan Mock slingshots it across left to right. Gibbs to Connor outside right off the tape. Topolsky's shot almost went down. Keebaugh left side. Roll shot dug by the Lopers. Neff sets middle. Tipping is Davis. Power tip goes through. Rottinghouse can't come up with the dig. Another winner for Davis. 22-18 UNK in the second. Washburn is out of timeouts. The Lopers fighting back to lead it by 4 in the second, up a set. Ryan Mock doing some damage from the service line. Gibbs to Connor. High set, left side. Keebaugh puts it down. A vicious left side, right side swing from Keebaugh. Something about the Lopers just brings out the best of the 5'10 sophomore. Side out Ichabods. Down 22-19. Keebaugh on the serve. Middle back swings with a right hand. Directed that one at Spang. Neff sets middle. Sydney Davis goes over the block and puts it down again. Neff doing a good job of spreading the wealth. The Lopers the last 2 nights have not been as predictable. 23-19. Everybody's pulling the big rope in the same direction. 2 points away from going up 2-0 tonight here against Washburn. Lanes at the service line, pounds that serve at the Ichabods. Connor outside left, big blast from Rivers. Kyla Rivers, her first kill. He hammered that one in the next week. Washburn cuts the gap, 23-20. Again, they smoked the Lopers down at Topeka. UNK won a couple weeks back and forth at Kearney. Here comes Limback. Just cleared the take. Neff runs to it, spreads it left side. Emily Lane, cross-court blast. High pass up front. Connor sets Morrissey. Slips it through with the right hand off of a middle attack. And the Loper lead has been whittled to 2. 23-21. The Lopers with a lead here in the second with 6 aces. Limback, first team all-conference middle, goes deep and out. Big service here. Nicely done by Lance and Mock. Set point for the Lopers in the second, up 24-21. And Ellie Spang trying to give UNK a 2-0 lead in this tournament championship match. She will leap into it with a right hand. Went down the middle. Connor, right side, big swing. Topolsky puts it down. On the right side to the left. She now has 7 kills. UNK still with a bit of a working margin. 24-22. Got to seize the opportunity, especially against Washburn. Quinna McMullen. Crafty senior setter. Deep right, lobs it at the Lopers. Lanes passes to Neff. Left side, Lane for the second set. Walk down on the Lopers side. Neff again on the slide. Abby Rose goes high, pushes it through. Near line. A beautiful sliding connection from Neff to Rose as the Lopers take the second. 25-22 after they dominated the first. 25-14. They're up 2-0. The third set from St. Joe is just ahead from KRVN Sports.
Abby Rose leading the charge, and Rose helping contribute to this squad. And Rose, 4 kills off of 8 attacks, hitting .250 on the night. Lopers lead 2-0 when we come back here from Civic Arena. You're watching the MIAA Network. Welcome back. Nebraska Kearney needs one more set as they lead 2-0 over the Ichabods of Washburn. And Sydney Davis, one of the heavy hitters for the Lopers. 8 kills on the night so far with 11 total attacks. She's hitting .636 with 1 dig, 4 blocks, and 10 total points for the Lopers. She's been a big key contributor, not only offensively but defensively, and that has been the key to success for UNK as they took set number 2 by thrilling fashion, 25-22, where they led, as they trailed, then led, and then trailed, and then found themselves once again in right there in that one. It was 3 tie scores and 1 lead change in set number 2 compared to set number 1, where it was all Nebraska Kearney. As for Washburn, you take a look at that. 20.
Boy, back and forth. The second set, the Lopers were down 3. They were up 7, and then was tied at 17. A big, mighty blast off the left pin from Carly Purdy got the Lopers the lead, and then they're able to win it 25-22. UNK with 6 aces in that second set. They hit .233. Washburn loses the second set after hitting .306. UNK down the right side of the court. Washburn on the left. Can the Lopers vanquish an old nemesis and in the process win their first MIAA Conference Tournament Championship since 2019, and in the process lock up hosting the Central Regional the first weekend of December? That's what's at stake here. Each of these teams know they are into the NCAA tournament. UNK will start the third set with Peterson, Neff, Spang, Purdy, Rose, and Stoll. Washburn has Morrissey, Brody. Rivers is out there, McMullen, Rottinghouse, and Autumn Gibbs. And Gibbs will start the third. Attacks it with the right hand. Peterson, nice pass to Neff. Left side, Purdy goes high. Dug by Gibbs, it veers off to the left side. Brody with a two-handed push shot. Lopers have a chance. Right side, Stoll comes hard and gets the kill. Over the top of Rivers and McMullen. Ren Stoll just solid and effective tonight. Has 5 kills. Lopers jump out in front 1-0 here in the third, leading it 2-0. Here's Abby Rose to help get UNK off to that strong start in the first set on serve, and she served the one out. So a couple of service errors for her now. And we are squared up at 1. Bella Limback now jumps in, yelling at all of her teammates. And here's Taylor Rottinghouse. Rottinghouse served tough in that second set. And Washburn came back from being down 16-9. Tied it up at 17. Rottinghouse with a right hand. Peterson shovels a pass to Neff. Far pin, Stoll goes high. Wonderful dig by McMullen. It went into the rafters. Brody waits, 10-foot line attack. Dug by Neff, far side. Spang sets it near side. Purdy over the double block. Dug middle back by Rottinghouse. Washburn far side. Rivers off of the hands of Stoll. Lopers will play it inside the 10-foot line. They spread it right side. Stoll. Roll shot wouldn't fall. Great recovery by Washburn. Then a near whiff by Limback. Lopers have a chance. Tipping is Neff with a right hand. Davis wouldn't hit the floor. Limback sets it. Rivers far side. Lopers able to keep it alive at the net. Wonderful work from each team. Lopers goes short with a free ball. McMullen down the middle. Limback finishes that one off with the right hand. Her fourth kill. Each team with a couple of chances to win that point. It goes the way of the Ichabod's. Up 2-1. Early stages of the third. Lopers up 2-0. Looking for their second straight sweep of a conference rival and a team ranked in the top 10. Rottinghouse to Peterson, retreats, goes to Neff, left side. Purdy puts it down. Hairpin far side. Purdy now with 358 putaways on the year. Side out Lopers, 2-2 in the third. Up 2-0. Stoll will rotate out. Lopers with Purdy and Davis up front. Davis tonight has been huge with 8 kills and 4 blocks. Ryan Mock went after Gibbs. Overpass up front. Sydney Davis just plays patty cake with the ball with 2 hands. Her 9th kill. Great serve from Mock. That one 8 up Gibbs. 3-2. UNK in the third. And Mock goes into her approach from the service line. Back at Gibbs again. Why not? McMullen down the middle. Great block by the Lopers on Brody. They attack again. Limback able to mash that one down. She's a very emotional player, the 5'11 senior. First team all conference. 12 last night. And that was just a street fight with Pittsburgh State before they eventually won it in 4. But they were in trouble in that one. 3-3 here in the third. Lopers up 2. Kyla Rivers, who did a number on the Lopers in Topeka, back of the game up front. Here's Sydney Connor. She's been in so many of these Loper-Ichabod battles, and she'll serve it out. Service there, way too much on that one. 5th of the night for Washburn. UNK just has 2. It's a 4-3 lead for UNK. They continue to play clean. Just 8 errors tonight for the Lopers. And Washburn hasn't been bad, just 11. Lopers up 4-3. And the Lanes from the service line. When it gives, here's Connor. Quick attack. Limback. Dug nicely far side by Mock. Lopers go near side. Emily Lane off of hands. It hits the floor. She tools the block. Her 6th kill of the night, but that was kept alive. That play was by an outstanding dig far side from Ryan Mock. 5-3 Lopers in the third, leading at 2-0. They won the first 25-14, just took the second 25-22. Lanes has been a weapon from the service line tonight for the Lopers. Gibbs shovels to Connor, far side. Rivers, the Lopers got a block touch from Davis. Connor goes slide, right side to Polsky. Hammers that one through. Big arm from a kid who's not all that big. Her 8 kills. She's really been the most efficient hitter tonight for Washburn. They get the side out. They pull back within 1, 5-4. So Kyla Rivers steps back to the service line. 5'10 sophomore outside. And she will run up and hit it into the net. Lopers will take that point. That's a gift. 6-4. Those are momentum killers. Washburn pressured UNK a little bit tonight, but the Lopers have pressured Washburn more. Here's Ellie Spang near side. Win it Rivers. Passes to Connor. Long set left side. Keebaugh just tips it over. Jousted the net. Limback goes high. Dug left corner for the Lopers. Nepp on the slide. Emily Lane lines up. Bats it back on the Ichabod side. Here comes Keebaugh over the top of Rose and Nepp, and she gets the kill. Her 6th. Side out back to the Ichabod's down 6-5 in this third set. Lopers in front, 2-0. Do not want this to go forward. We saw Washburn come back last year against the Lopers in the NCAA tournament. Neff spins, could not get the quick kill. Topolsky, roll shot, dug far side by Mock. Lopers go on the slide. Abby Rose off of hands, kept alive out front. Left side key ball, waits, goes far side. Spang with the up for the Lopers. UNK goes down the middle. Abby Rose delivers again. That was a tough shot. Sliding to her left, middle of the net. Cocked her right arm and put it down. Deep right corner for the Lopers. Her fifth kill. 7-5 UNK in the third. That was a big point to win. Peyton Neff from the service line for the Lopers. Went at Rottinghouse. Connor sends it out right side to Polsky. Lopers slowed it up. They get the dig. Neff left side. Lane comes strong. Zips it in again. And the right corner. Oh, she just flew to the summit that time. And just dialed it in and put it down right in front of our line judge. 8-5 UNK. Those cross-court winners from Emily Lane. Neff, Fit Rivers, pretty decent pass to Connor. Goes quickly, and Morrissey missed. It's like she was treading water in midair, and she couldn't get there in the middle of the net. 9-5 UNK. Their largest lead of the third set. Washburn wants a timeout. The Lopers up 2-0. Up 9-5 in the third. We're back to St. Joe right after this from KRVN Sports.
Championships here on MIAA Network. Nebraska Kearney leads 2-0 here in the third, and they lead set number 3, 9-5, as they look to find themselves their first MIAA title on their 4th straight trip to the MIAA Volleyball Championship match. And Washburn really struggling here in the third set. We were talking about it in between sets. Hannah and the Ichabods looked good coming out of that second set, and really here.
Jason Jorgensen back with you from St. Joe. The Lopers up 2-0. They're out to a 4-point lead in the third, 9-5. St. Cloud State, they're the champs of the NSIC, winning it in 3. So they were impressive last night, beating Wayne. And then tonight, they're able to take care of Concordia St. Paul. Peyton Neff on the serve for the Lopers, right to left. Knuckleball action, that is an ace. Kyla Rivers is going to have nightmares tonight of the Lopers serves coming at her. The 10th ace of the season of the match for the Lopers. That matches her season high. Neff with a couple. Lopers lead at 10-5 in the third. Outside left key ball. That one is hammered through. Ellie Spang near side couldn't dig it. Emery Keebaugh, just as she did last year in St. Cloud, giving the Lopers some issues. He's a mighty outside hitter. Side out back to Washburn. Lopers in front, 10-6 in the third. Here's Corinna McMullen. She would have walked into it with the right hand. Tomahawk it down near ace. Overpass up front. Slides back on Washburn's side. They go to Brody right side and zips that one in with the right hand. Just her 5th kill. She has not really lit up the Lopers tonight. She had 14 in the match in Kearney. And the Loper lead is at 3. 10-7. That opening jolt from them in the first set has just really put them in a good frame all night long. Neff, left side, Emily Lane, cross-court shot off the hands of Rottinghouse. That one goes into the scores team. Emily Lane, her 8th kill. That was a no-doubter from the time it left the inside of her right fist. 11-7. Lopers in the third, up 2-0. Looking for win number 29 on the season. If they get this one tonight, they will host the Central Regional in early December. Rivers has some issues. Pass goes to the left side. Keebaugh, 10-foot attack. It's out. But it all started with the poor pass received from Kyla Rivers. UNK has put her on the side of a milk carton tonight and just went after her. 12-7 in this third set. And Rivers knows it's coming at her again. And Peterson slugs it at her and hits the top of the tape and goes down to the 10-foot line. Another ace. That's season high 11 for the Lopers. For Peterson, her 13th ace of the year. The lead continues to balloon for the Lopers. 13-7 in the third. Up 2-0. The service game's been the difference tonight for the Lopers. Keba passes to McMullen, spreads it. Brody clocks that one down, then back on an overpass. It catches the tape and goes down off of the overpass, and that's when you know it's your night. The Lopers up 14-7, and Washburn takes their second timeout of the third set. The Lopers up a touchdown in the third, leading it 2-0. It's UNK volleyball from KRVN Sports.
Sales just barely off the hands, and right now a 7-point lead for the Lopers when we come back. Welcome back to historic Civic Arena here in St. Joseph, Missouri. I'm with me is Hannah Johnston, and right now we are in the MIAA Volleyball Championship match between Nebraska Kearney and Washburn. And here you're looking at how these two teams got here. Nebraska Kearney defeated both Fort Hays State and Central Oklahoma.
Washburn is out of timeouts. Stoll, Purdy, and Rose step to the net, communicating with one another. The Lopers up 7 in the third, 14-7, up 2-0. Alina Peterson directed that one at key ball. McMullen sets it high. Morrissey looks to ram it down. Another great dig by the Lopers. They slip it over on a short free ball. McMullen outside right side. Brody dug middle back by Peterson. High pass left side. Purdy blocked down by Austin Brody. Had a double block waiting on the slow attack near pin from the Lopers. And Washburn gets a point back. Down 6, 14-8. Keep in mind they were down 16-9 last set. Came back and tied it up at 17 before Carly Purdy came up with a big blast to give the Lopers a lead, and UNK eventually won it 25-22. Here comes Autumn Gibbs into the serve. It's out. Service error. Washburn tonight with 7 service errors. UNK with just 2. And keep in mind the Lopers in the ace department with 11 compared to 1 for Washburn. 15-8. Lopers as a team tonight, not hitting like they did the last night, 400 against UCO, but they're hitting 313, Washburn at 220. Here's Julia Davenport in for the Lopers, leading by 7. Great serve. Washburn has issues with it. UNK digs it far side with Neff. Spang bumps it right side. Stool brought the hammer. Wonderful sliding dig by Rottinghouse. Here comes Rivers with a bullet. Dug near side by Peterson. Lopers go to Stoll, has to wait, roll shot, overpass up front, hit the net off the right hand of Brody, and the Lopers win that point. 16-8 UNK. That back line for the Lopers, which was certainly a question mark coming into the season, and it's been backlined by committee for the Lopers, but boy, Coach Squires is pushing all the right buttons right now. They are playing phenomenal volleyball. 16-8, deep serve by Davenport, blasting away down the middle is Brody who gets the kill. Side out back to the Ichabods. This is exactly where they were last set. They have the serve. Rottinghouse to put it in play. The Lopers up 7, 16-9, leading it 2-0. Rottinghouse will lift it right down the highway. Peterson and F has to run for it. Purdy left side, cross-court blast. It's touched. The Lopers get the point. Just her 6th kill of the night. That just shows how balanced UNK has been tonight. They've found other ways to score. 17-9 Lopers. Ryan Mock looks at Coach Squires. Signals her behind his folder. She will dump this one at Gibbs. Not a great pass. Here comes Rivers with the blast. Dug middle back by Peterson. Lopers attack near pin. Purdy off of the right hand of Rottinghouse. And Carly Purdy with another thumper of a kill for the Lopers. 18-9 in this third set. Edging closer and closer against an old rival who just over the years has given them so much trouble. Service error for Peterson. But there have not been many tonight for the Lopers. They have been razor sharp in this one. See if they can finish it off. You're up 8. It's 18-10. And Washburn's on their heels with Sydney Connor. Locked in loaded with a serve. Peterson F on the slide. Sydney Davis off of hands. Stays alive at the 10-foot line. Connor right side. Topolsky tried to drive it down. Block touch Lopers. Left pin. Purdy. Block touch up front. Connor great recovering. Topolsky tips near line. Spang with the pass. Tipping is Neff. One go down. Davis goes high and slam dunks it. Middle of the net with two hands. She just took over. She told Neff, I got this. And she ran to the ball and put it down with two hands. She has played at an all-conference like level here in St. Joe. And UNK with the lead, 19-10. Serving in the third, up 2-0. Right side, big blast. That one from Rivers is out. The Lopers pick up another point, up 20-10 against vaunted Washburn in this third set. Going for the sweep. Good hard serve from Lance near ace. Thrown back over on the Lopers side. Neff trailing her. Tipping is Davis. Wonderful up by the Echabods. Big blast from Rivers. That one goes into the seat now. Hopefully Ellie Spang's okay. She went going hard for it and slid just before she got to the seats. That wouldn't have been good. Lopers don't need to lose her or anybody at this point. With the way they have played of late, everybody has just played so well down here in St. Joe. Lopers with a 20-11 lead in this third set. 2-0, and there is an ace. Kyla Rivers, 20-12. Again, this thing isn't over yet. No doubt about that. Still a long way to go for the Lopers. Rivers eyeballs the volleyball. She's had a tough night. Boy, that was a line drive serve. Neff left side waiting is Lane. Blocked back. Great recovery by Lanes. Lane reloads. Pop shot played by Connor. Here's Rottinghouse right side. Topolsky hits it out. Great work by Mock to get out of the road. 21-12 UNK. You got the big lead now. You have Washburn maybe trying to do a little too much. And Ellie Spang on the serve for the Lopers. Deep left corner, attacks it with a right hand. Win it Rivers, backs up. Pass went to the left side on Rottinghouse. Key ball over the top, hit it out. Another air. 22-12 UNK, 3 points away from a sweep. And we have a review coming up. Check that Washburn. I thought they were out of timeouts. They will take a timeout, trailing the Lopers 22-12. UNK leads it 2-0. We're back to St. Joe right after this from KRVN Sports. A very weird timeout there, which it only lasted 30 seconds. The Lopers with the serve. Keyball gets the kill off the far side. And Washburn on the serve, trailing the Lopers 22-13 in this third set. Lopers up 2-0. Comes Bella Limback. Wrist set serve of the Lopers. Neff sets high. Emily Lane, cross-court shot out. 22-14. So back-to-back points for Washburn. Trying to stage a comeback to remember in this third set. Lopers led it 22-12. One back with the serve. Bombs it at the Lopers. Here comes Neff. Left side. Lane waits off of hands. Tooled that one off the block of Bryn Topolsky. Emily Lane with the kill her night. 23-14 Lopers. In this third set, they have just played some fantastic volleyball down here in Missouri. Neff arced that serve at Rivers off the right side. Topolsky has a jam right back at her by Emily Lane. Lane got the point. It is match point for the Lopers. They have 10 to work with. Washburn will stop the proceedings as Rottinghouse cleans up a spot where someone went down. Peyton Neff to serve it away for the Lopers. UNK leading at 24-14 here in the third. Neff crackles that serve across. Washburn goes outside left. Keybaugh puts it down with the kill. So it's 24-15. They'll exchange personnel. Corinne McMullen will check in. But the Lopers have just been dominant again tonight here in St. Joe. So McMullen slaps the volleyball, sends that serve across at the Lopers. UNK with the pass. Neff left side lane, cracks it up. It's up against the net. Great recovery by Washburn. Back on the Lopers side. They set it up. Rose for the tournament. Hits it off of hands, and the Lopers get it done. UNK in a sweep tonight over Washburn. 25-14, 25-22, 25-15. They are MIAA tournament champions, and they will be hosting the Central Regional Tournament the opening weekend of December in Kearney. What a run from this team in St. Joe, sweeping two top 10 teams in UCO and Washburn, and they take the title in this tournament, their first since 2019. What a day and a weekend and a night to be a Loper as UNK wins it in 3 to improve to 29-3 on the season. Just ahead, our post-game report. Hope to talk to head coach Rick Squires and a couple of the players. But what a victory tonight for UNK. Lopers winning in 3. Post-game's just ahead from KRVN Sports. Back to St. Joe, where another impressive performance from UNK. Not only do they beat Washburn, they sweep Washburn to claim the MIAA Tournament Championship, and they cement a spot as the number 1 seed. They will host the Central Regional in a week and a half, joined by head coach Rick Squires. Congratulations, another fantastic performance from your bunch tonight.
Yeah, really proud of this group. To think about, we keep pointing back to that ugly weekend, but, a lot of credit to these girls for kind of using that as a turning point in the season and finding another gear, and we just continued to get better, and we had a great tournament. We just played really clean and confident. Peyton Neff did a great job moving the ball around. We serve-received well enough. Our blocking was really good. Sid Davis made a huge impact as a blocker, and tonight our serving really bothered them. We got off to the good start. Sometimes in this third day of the tournament, if you're the first team to jump out, then everybody's fatigued a little bit. Now you get a little jolt of life, and then they look at it like, I don't know if we got enough left in the tank. But, we've been on the other end of this a few times in a row here. So we didn't want to become the Buffalo Bills of the conference tournament. So we finally got one again. So we're very proud of this group.
Well put. How about your service game tonight? You just took them apart. 11 aces, 6 of those coming in the second set.
Yeah, and we kept it on them. We didn't let them off the hook with a miss in the middle of a run. We were really disciplined. We just kind of floated the ball in there. And, if they do have an Achilles heel sometimes, it's their serve receive, because they're so hard to stop. If they're in system, they can set anybody. But, we did. We kept it on them. And right from the jump, the very first serve, we got out. Abby Rose did a great job getting us out early, hitting her zone and putting pressure on them, and then we just kept playing like that. So it was impressive to watch from my perspective.
You win it in 3. I thought maybe one of the biggest plays of the night, and I circled it in that second set. You had a big lead. They tied it at 17, and then you went to Carly Purdy on the left side, and she just blasted that baby home and made it 18-17.
Yeah, Carly had some Coach Bowers in here giving us congrats. Carly had a little bit of a rough patch there. She's on everybody's scouting report, and she was matched up with Brody, and they were getting good touches on her. But we're kind of one of those teams that we call a timeout and we regroup, and then we go right back out there and do the exact same thing and just try to do a little bit better. And Carly is capable of going up high on the block or even over the block. She got us a huge kill right there, and then we followed it up with another point, give us a little breathing room. But yeah, that was a huge moment in the match for sure.
Well, congratulations. This is a lot of fun, and it's got to be cool to know you're going to be hosting.
Yeah,
it's
been a while since we've done that, and nobody does it better than Kearney when it comes to hosting the regional. So all the folks that came down, they made an impact. They were loud. If you couldn't make it down, now you get another chance to help us in the regional tournament. And, even though you're the 1 seed, you're playing at home, you're still playing somebody really good. So we need help on every match.
Congratulations. Appreciate you coming up.
Thanks for coming down.
You bet. That was Loper head coach Rick Squires. His thoughts on this one. An impressive sweep for the Lopers tonight over Washburn. 25-14, 25-22, 25-15 in that third set. Lopers win it 3. Postgame from St. Joe continues right after this from KRVN Sports. Back to St. Joe, where the Lopers win it in a sweep. 25-14, 25-22, 25-15. I am joined by Loper Senior Middle, Abby Rose. Congratulations.
Thank
I think I
you.
saw you in the lobby today. You said, we're going to get it this time.
Yes,
And
yes.
you and the ladies did.
Yes.
Talk about tonight.
Yeah, I think this entire season we've been on a mission. We set goals early on in the season. Our main goal was hosting regionals, and that comes with winning this tournament, and that comes with being successful in the MIAA. So, yes, it just feels so good to be able to come here to St. Joe, perform well, and win the championship. I know my 4 years we've been in the championship, I think every single match, and we've lost every single time. So I think just flipping that mindset of like we are here to take care of business, to get the win and host regionals, and just bring it back to the Kearney community. I've been talking about that a lot with the team, just how supportive Kearney is, how supportive our little girls are that come to our games and have birthday parties at our games. And so just playing for them, playing for something bigger than yourself, and really bringing that home to Kearney.
Now, how about the start? And Coach Squires mentioned this in the postgame. Your start tonight, you really helped propel the team out to that 7-1 lead.
Yeah, that was really exciting for me. I think there is a big rivalry with Washburn, and so just coming out and hopping out on top, we knew that if they even felt like they had a sliver of a chance to get in the game, that they would, and the game could have been a lot longer or turned out differently. So I just know mentally that getting out on top is very important, especially against Washburn, and so that's kind of just was my mentality when going back there to serve.
Well, congratulations. This
Thank
one
you.
feels sweet. Who knows? Might see Washburn again.
I know.
Might see UCO
I know.
again. But
Yep.
that's the way it goes.
It'll be at home in Kearney and HSC on the Terraflex, and that's what I have been working for all season long, my entire 4 years here, so it feels good.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You bet. That
Thank
was
you.
Loper Senior. Abby Rose, your thoughts on this one? She played another great match. She had a great tournament. Loper's able to pick up the victory in a sweep tonight over Washburn. 25-14, 25-22, 25-15. We'll take another break and be back with more of a postgame right after this from KRVN Sports. Over Washburn. It's sweet for the Lopers to beat Washburn. It's even better to sweep them and to beat them for the MIAA Tournament Championship, and this secures that the Lopers will be the #1 seed in the NCAA Central Regional, which will start on Thursday night. Those official pairings will come out on Monday night. Quick look at the numbers here before we get on out of here. UNK again was just devastating from the service line. A season high 11 aces, 6 of those in the second. They hit 316 for the match. They limit Washburn, a team that normally hits about 288, down to 194. And the Lopers, again, I think what's made them so effective the last 2 nights with sweeps of top 10 opponents is the balance. Sydney Davis with 10 kills tonight. 4 blocks. Emily Lane with 9 kills. Carly Purdy only had 6 kills, but the Lopers didn't have to go out to her the whole time. Bryn Stoll was very solid with 6. And Abby Rose with 7 kills. And again, she got the Lopers up to a great start from the service line. Peyton Neff with 32 set assists for UNK and a ton of digs again for the Lopers. Alina Peterson had 13. Great work from Ellie Spang. She did a nice job again tonight for the Lopers. It's a team effort. This team is playing its best volleyball at the end of the season and should be a lot of fun in Kearney starting up on Thursday, December 4th. That will do it for our coverage from here. We'll continue to fire through all of our commercial breaks. I want to thank Eric Mortimer for doing a wonderful job producing this weekend's games down here in St. Joe. But what a night, what a day, and what a weekend to be a Loper. UNK now 29-3 on the season. They claim their 8th MIAA tournament championship, and they will be hosting a Central Regional for the first time since 2019. For our studio producer, Eric Mortimer, this is Jason Jorgensen saying so long. Thanks for tuning in to UNK Volleyball.
You've been listening to University of Nebraska Kearney Sports on KRVN. Our complete broadcast schedule can be found at krvn.com.